Don't
I
worry.
wonder.
You set yourself up, and I will do one of my amazing. I mean, I do a lot of trims anyway. I'll be honest with you. And I know I have a habit of saying quite a lot, and I actually mute almost all of those when I come to do the edit. And like if we talk over each other, I will like slice up the things and have us talking one after another so it flows. So don't worry about anything you say, mate. It will not be used in evidence against you because I will crop it out.
Sounds like I'm going to be incriminated over here.
Depends what you say.
Um, Sherlock Holmes was a bad series of books.
Okay. More of an Arsène Lupin fan, were you?
Agatha Christie.
Agatha. Oh, I still love reading those when I was a kid. Yeah, yeah.
Oh God, I'm knackered.
So, well, I'll tell you what, gentlemen. As you're tired, let's get the fuck on with it. Um, and I have to say, I mean, I know I was looking back through our channel, and we did get into a period of doing sort of 1.5, even 2 hour episodes at some point. And actually, as the editor, when we hit end recording, I would just like cry a bit on the inside because of how long it takes to edit those. And I really like our kind of shorter, max 1 hour episodes. So do not worry, Declan, you will soon be tucked up in bed because we're not going to talk for long tonight.
No, it's just these stupid buses because more roadworks in my city, so it's another delay of another 10 minutes for some random reason.
Yeah, yeah, these sound like excuses. I'm going to be honest with you.
Excuses, I'm good at those.
Right, what the hell are we doing? So the last time we spoke was episode 187, and it was 2 weeks ago, and we were we were old men shouting at clouds, um, and we got to talking about Sekiro and Clair Obscur. And how did this come about? It was right at the end, wasn't it? I think you said, Declan, tell you what, you were going to try Sekiro. And I said, all right, I'll try it too. And Chris, we kind of swapped games. Chris was going to give Clair Obscur a try. So here we are, 2 weeks later, about to compare notes, so having tried each other's games. Um, who wants to go first? Declan, you're a highly skilled, experienced, souls born kind of guy. How did you get on with Sekiro?
Don't say highly skilled. My skill comes at mashing buttons and hoping to God I get there. That's not. Honestly, I have a love hate relationship with Sekiro now. I think world beautiful, combat crisp and absolutely phenomenal. It's everything I want from a Souls game, except it has probably the most annoying progression system on the planet, and that
Okay.
is it doesn't exist. There doesn't feel like there's a progression system like Dark Souls. I'm not getting stronger, and it's annoying me.
So for a guy who's never played Dark Souls or any other From Software game, can you tell us more? What's missing for you?
So, with Dark Souls games and Elden Ring, you get different weapons, and like with Clair Obscur Expedition 33, your weapons scale to how you level up. So, having just one weapon in Sekiro is actually a lot better for this. I quite like the idea of just having one weapon that you've got to focus on. But the problem I had is in Elden Ring and Dark Souls, you have like souls, and you get souls from fallen enemies or bosses, or you find them, and you use them souls to level up your character's ability. So you level up the stamina, the health, the strength. So you get stronger doing it. But Sekiro, as I was looking for different wikis and getting some tips, it seems the only way you get stronger is by consuming orbs from defeating bosses. There isn't actually a way to farm enemies to put souls into like attack defense, like a typical RPG. So you feel like you're locked in your progression, that there's no way to get stronger. And when you got bosses like the first boss, which is not difficult in terms of strength and power, just movement and timings, you can't just get strong enough just to tank a couple of hits. You still have to play safe. And that frustrates me because I like in Dark Souls of being overpowered quite early on. So when it comes to like challenging bosses, they're not that challenging because I'm just over leveled and over skilled. So that's the only downside I have with Sekiro at the moment.
Yeah, the progression system is very strange in it because you're like unlocking skills and stuff with your XP as opposed to like just get stronger, say attack or defense or something. So it's actually like a mix of kind of like other games like where you unlock skills and stuff.
You still got to get the timings down. If you don't get the timings down for these skills, you're still going to get screwed.
Yeah, it's not good. Sorry, I've completely forgot what I was saying now.
Tell you what, then let me chip in there with 2 points. So first of all, I picked up some orbs. I didn't know I was supposed to do anything with them or what they were for. Now, either there's a big on-screen like prompt that says you're supposed to consume these, or it's not obvious and it's not explained. So that's quite funny. Um, the other thought I had, Declan, is what you've described there as a problem. I'm assuming that's deliberate because they want you to master your sort of button discipline in combat and movement in combat rather than, well, let's be honest, what we all do in open world games is we go and do all the side content. We're level 200 before we hit the first chapter of the main story, and then we just steamroll our way through. So I'm assuming that's deliberate to force mastery, but I could be wrong.
I think that would make sense. See, with Dark Souls, you could still be super tanky and steamroll bosses, but if your timing is down to a second, a boss could still wipe you out even if you're over leveled. So Dark Souls is always about that patience, that monitor your enemies. But Sekiro is way more focused on your parries, your counters, proper slow and deliberate combat. So being over leveled with slow and deliberate combat wouldn't work. But still, I want to feel powerful. I don't want to be stuck locking horns for the boss for 2 days because I can't get stronger. I'll beat it, but still.
Yeah, and there's the other issue as well that even when you unlock the skills and stuff, you still need to know like what bad guy or what boss is actually weak against that move, or
Mm.
even the prosthetics as well. Same with the tools. Um,
Oh, I've got a
some of
story about that
them
in a minute, mate. My
are
God.
like beautifully used for some of the bosses, whereas other bosses are just completely useless. So it's you still figure all that out first before you can defeat the boss or whatever. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I've only got to, I guess you might call it chapter 3 or area 3, which is Hirata Estate,
Mhm.
and that's where I gave up. Spoiler alert. But I will go back to it. I'll come to that in a sec. And I had not unlocked any skills for my prosthetic arm. I didn't know there were any. And I suppose that you're supposed to explore. And again, this is on you as the player to turn your brain on and explore. But the dudes with the shields, that's my first point where I was like, I can't beat these guys. I can't dodge and pirouette around them fast enough. As soon as you swing and clatter off their shields, they do a counter attack and take half your health. And I thought, I'm completely stuck. And I think at that point, Declan said, oh, yeah, you need to get the axe. All right, what axe? Off I went onto the IGN walkthrough. Oh, I need to get an axe from the starting zone. Right, okay. And I do, God, maybe I'm just not very smart or don't turn my brain on, but I don't know if I stand a chance of completing this without a guide telling me go here, get this upgrade, do this in all this order. So I've already learned something, Declan, that I need to be consuming these orbs for. Is it more health or more speed or stamina or more posture or something? I'm not sure, but that's something I
Well, those
didn't do the
orbs,
last time.
what you're describing could be anything. What color is it?
Can't remember. It's been a couple of
See, I
weeks
mean,
since I
that
played it.
literally could be anything.
Okay, fair enough.
Like
Fair enough.
there's certain things you collect and like they're like boosts to your attack or your defense or your parry defense, like your posture, sorry.
Okay.
Um, and then there's like tons of other things you can pick up that do many things, and
Mm,
they're like obviously consumable, so it's like a one-time thing or whatever.
okay.
So, and I'll be honest with you, the first time I completed the game, I used a guide because I
Okay.
needed it to kind of know where to go next. Because Sekiro was my first Souls-like game. I had
Mm.
never played Dark Souls or anything like that beforehand, so playing that game was a real like learning curve for me. So I did have to use a guide the first time just to kind of basically understand it. So don't feel shame if you need to use a guide for any of it, honestly.
Thank you for your absolution. I'm going to do that for sure. I'm just going to follow the walkthrough. I think I might just start a new game and follow the walkthrough and make sure I'm doing every area thoroughly, you know.
I'll
Um,
recommend Fighting Cowboys guides for Dark Souls games and
okay.
Sekiro. He's always had really good guides.
Fighting
It'll
Cowboy.
help you get through it, no problem.
Excellent.
I second that. I actually use that as well for my Dark Souls and Elden Ring playthroughs. So I may have played these games a lot, but I do use guides. And on Dark Souls, we can have people invade your game to help you with a boss. I do that sometimes on Dark Souls. I'm not ashamed to say that when I'm fed up of beating a boss, I just look for a multiplayer option and just find the strongest person I can find to one shot it for me so I don't have to do any work.
Oh, I've seen like videos on YouTube of what's the boss in Elden Ring? Is it Millennia?
Let
The
me
main
There's
solo.
boss, yeah.
there's the guy who just wears the jar on his head who comes in and
Oh
helps
no, that's
people.
the one, yeah.
Have you heard of this guy? I think he's called
Yeah, I think I know
Clemente.
who you're talking about.
Let me solo her.
That's it. Let me solo her, and he just drops in. And so that's something in all Dark Souls games where different players can sort of drop in almost like a co-op, or is that
Most
just in Elden Ring?
like no, well, Dark Souls games have like a invasion type thing
Okay.
where people can come into your game and attack you and stuff like that.
Mm, okay.
Whereas Elden Ring's more of a like a co-op thing. They can help you and stuff. I
He
think. I've
also
not played much Elden Ring.
Dark Souls usually has two. There's good summoning, so you can put down a message and people basically leave like an avatar to help you. And if they're online, they'll invade your world as a co-op, but it's like a one-time co-op for a boss. So they're always outside the boss rooms. Or if you're just walking through the world, you might get an invasion, and that's a mechanic in all of them except for Sekiro, because I used it a lot in Bloodborne, which is the PS4 exclusive. And that helped me beat a boss that I was stuck on for 2 weeks. I just got someone to come in and just hit it once and done.
So is that feature available in Sekiro?
No.
I haven't seen any, but again, I might have missed something in the
No,
menu.
the
Okay, so
thing
that's
that
not
you
there.
actually brought up in Discord before, those pink things, that is similar to Dark Souls, where it's like they're leaving you a message, but it's usually a lie. Basically, they'll like jump down here to get a chest, and they jump.
Jump to your death.
Yeah,
Yes.
so
Got
stupid
it.
things like that. Never believe. I always just turn the online part off so that they don't even show up,
Mm,
because I'm like, I don't need that in my life.
okay, so Fighting Cowboy without the G, Fighting
Yeah,
Cowboy.
yeah,
He's got 100% playthrough, 30 videos, but they're actually quite short. They're often like 20 to 30 minutes. So it's not a long game if you know where you're
yeah.
going.
It's
It's
not
not
really,
actually a
and I
long
mean,
game.
like that 100% video playlist, I think that's what I used for the platinum, well, or the
Mm,
100% on Xbox. But that goes, like I said, to get the platinum, you need to play through the game 4 times to get four
right.
different endings. But one of them is really short, like you actually only play through half of the game,
Hmm,
and then the other three. But so his videos are that short because he skipped out like fighting the three bosses like 3 times or whatever. Do you know what I mean? For the three
got it.
playthroughs, and it's just one playthrough. So yeah, but I mean,
Okay.
I'm not suggesting for the platinum anyway. I'm just saying like that's what that is.
Understood. So I'll tell you then. As you guys know, I think we discussed it on Discord. I played it every night for about 5 days. Probably spent about 5 hours in the game, and I gave up. I got as far as the Shinobi Hunter, and the first few times I got there, I got completely destroyed. And then I looked at, I can't remember if it was a video, and I didn't have a skill called Mikiri counter.
Yep.
Oops. So went and learned that skill.
have you spoke right? So let me ask you this. See,
Hmm.
in the very start area, the I can't say that word. Dilapidated, dilapidated temple. I can't say it. Anyway, the very first area where Emma is and
Hmm.
what's it called? The sculptor guy.
Yeah.
So when you walk out of the building that he's in, and you've got your um, what are they even called again? I should know this. The spawn point thing, right? Whatever they're
Sculptors,
called. The
idols.
bonfire, right? That's what it is in
Okay.
Dark Souls, right? A bonfire. Anyway, you've got your bonfire. And you would to you go up and you go straight forward, but there's a path up to your right, and up there there's a guy, and he's like a trainer guy. Have you spoke to him?
Yes.
Right,
Yes, a lot. And I've done a lot of
right.
training with him
So
to
you
try
can
and
once you unlock certain skills like the Mikiri counter, you can test it on him and basically get the timing down right because it's
oh, I didn't
usually
do that.
when an enemy thrusts at you or something and it's like you like that guy you were talking about that kills you, the
Mm.
shinobi hunter, he thrusts you with his spear. So
Mm.
basically as he thrusts you basically push forward and dodge and basically
Yes.
your guy kicks down the spear and then you can counter it.
Yeah. Yeah,
It
that's so okay. I will go
that
back and practice with him.
yeah. So it's just like little things like that, but the game doesn't tell you any of this stuff. You just need to kind of
No.
figure it out or
Yeah.
lose a guide.
And that's why I was really motivated to play it and keep trying, even though I felt like I was bashing my head against a wall. Because, like you said, Declan, it really is. Honestly, it looks quite dated. It looks like a game from 15 years ago. But actually, that's not a bad thing. It has this kind of, I'm going to get a bit pretentious now, but it has almost like a dream-like atmosphere, which maybe is deliberate. I don't know, because I haven't really figured out the story yet. Um, but I really liked it, and what I really respected was the timing. And then when you nail that perfect parry, you get the nice clang of the swords. Oh, it's great. It's great. One thing I realized very quickly though is I was spoiled playing Clair Obscur first because that gives you a lot of clues about parry timing. Usually music, obviously the animation, but also the camera movement. And Sekiro doesn't give you those clues, or if it does, I didn't spot them. It is literally just you've got to watch that sword and or spear and learn the timing. So it's definitely a step up from Clair Obscur's timing, that's for sure. Because there's just less warning or less sort of clues, I would say. But I will go back to it. I've just not been that motivated in the last few weeks, but I would like to go back to it. I'll use a guide. I'm going to check out this guy, Blazing Cow. No, Fighting Cowboy, not Blazing Cowboy. Blazing Shadows is a different thing. Um, and see how I get on. Declan, how far have you got?
I've just got to the horse boss after the snake in the mountain.
Okay.
So he's I can't beat him because of his movement. It's a skill issue I have personally. I can never, no matter what game it is, I have the problem in Devil May Cry 5, which I've just beaten after 2 days. I can't ever beat bosses that have high erratic movement patterns, like being on horseback or flying. For some reason, my brain can't just comprehend the patterns because they're not systematic. So unless it's a boss that's just walking around, piss easy. But when you're on a horse going left, right, and center, my brain's like, I don't know what to do. Help! So it's a skill ceiling I have to reach, but it's one that I don't think I can reach because my brain can't comprehend the movements of the character because of he's on horseback and it's such a wide combat field to fight in. He's just
Mm.
running around in circles.
I think you could. It's actually. Did you get the firecrackers? Like I said.
Yeah, I've got the firecrackers,
Right.
the hammer, the flamethrower,
Ghost.
and the shuriken, myriad counter, the grapple counter attack, and something
So
else.
for him, honestly, all you need is the firecrackers. And what I was trying to explain on Discord, which was not going over, is the fact that see as he's like attacking you, you can just hold your defense button, right? So what is it L1?
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that L1? Aye. you can just hold that, right? And basically he'll keep hitting you, but because his attack is quite slow and his attack pattern will end before your posture will be broken. At that point you can run back, hold your defense again, and that will put your posture bar back to where it should be. And what I'm saying is, you just need to get close to him, throw the firecrackers, and that should stun him for a good couple of seconds. Get your hits in, then move back, and you just keep repeating that over and over again. And oh, sorry, there's one more thing. There's a skill. Once you've got enough prosthetic tools, the sculptor guy will give you a skill book to unlock skills that are all to do with the prosthetic.
Yeah, I've got
And
that.
one of them is you need the one that basically bad guys do a certain moves. You can grapple onto them and pull yourself to them. And there's
Yeah,
quite a
that's
lot of times that horse guy will do that, and you can basically grapple to him. And once you've landed, throw your firecrackers, and then hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, hit him, and then
right.
just like kind of repeat that over and over.
So that's what I was doing wrong because I was hugging the horse to the point I might as well do it inside the horse.
Mm,
And then once he moved away and did a big swing, I've got the skill to do grapple attacks now. So I was grappling on, but I wasn't using firecrackers. I was just trying to hit him. So since I landed to hit him, I was getting sideswiped, and I was like, no,
yeah.
no, go away, horse dude, go away.
Like there is certain things that you need to watch out from that he'll do that you just shouldn't go anywhere near him. And this is the problem: is the fact that he's pretty much basically the first proper boss. But every guy you've met up to that point is basically you should be aggressive with them. You need to like the distance, and you need to keep hitting them. You need to keep attacking, and then deflect when needed. Whereas this guy, he's the first boss, but yet you need to give him distance. You need to kind of give him room to run about and do crazy stuff, and then get close, use the firecrackers, attack, retreat.
I'm doing that tonight.
If I got some time tonight, I'm going to go back to it.
Yeah.
I'm going to follow this guide and go back to it. I did enjoy, might be the wrong word. I did appreciate like the progress of mastering the timing, and the movement is so nice. The way he runs, the way he grapples over buildings, it's just so smooth. It's really satisfying.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a lot I appreciated, but I didn't have the patience and maybe not the right skills and tools and stuff to proceed. So yeah, I've got to practice that attack or that defense move against the Shinobi Hunter. All right, so that's Sekiro. What do you think to our progress so far, Chris? Have you heard from us everything you expected in terms
Yeah,
of
I mean,
complaints?
I knew Declan wasn't going to have too many issues because he's obviously a big fan of Dark Souls games and that. You, on the other hand, have probably give up in the very first 20 minutes or something. So I'm very impressed that you got as far as you did, and that you're actually quite into it as well by the sounds of it. Like, yeah, man, impressed.
Well, I need my gamer card properly stamped, right? And you can't do that until you've completed Sekiro. So, thanks, mate. I thought you were going to say, actually, James, I'm really disappointed in you. You gave up too soon.
No, I mean I know you don't play those types of games and that
No,
ever, so it's like
no.
it's like a huge learning curve.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. But do you know what you said? The thing there, which is just use a guide. You'll be fine.
Yeah, I honestly just that's what I've done, and I never looked back.
Yeah. So we tried Sekiro. Declan's probably a lot further ahead than me. I've not given up. I've just taken a break, just a break. And you tried Clair Obscur.
Yes, I did, and
And
no bueno. I
no.
like it. This is right. So going into it, I knew I didn't like turn-based games. I've not played many of them throughout my life. Obviously, the very first one I ever played would have been Pokemon back in the day. I've played a few others here and there, but I've never, ever, ever liked them. They just don't speak to me in any way. And I really, really wanted to enjoy this game, but I just don't. And it's all because of the turn-based. Like I was really digging the story. I was like 3/4 of the way through chapter one. I'm assuming I'm about 3/4 away, maybe. So not that far really. Um, but the story from what I've seen so far was amazing. The music was something like on another planet. That was truly magnificent music production going in that game. And the characters, the writing, the acting, all amazing. Loved every single bit of it. But I was just finding myself completely bored in the actual game. I was just playing the game to get to the next cutscene, which is something I never ever do. Usually I kind of hold off on progressing through story moments because I'm trying to do other stuff, like side stuff, whatever, explore the map, things like that. But in this, I was just like, let's just do the main thing. I'm not even caring about exploring or anything like that. I'm just trying to get to the next story beat, which is a shame because I know the game is good. I see everyone talking about it constantly and how amazing it is, and I want to see the end of the story. I want to see where it goes. I've seen people being like, "Oh my god," on Twitter and stuff like that, like after they finished chapter one, and then people like in the comments be like, "Oh, you finished chapter two or three?" No, that was just one. They're like, "Buckle up, mate." Like,
On the turn based, so you everything
what am I
you've
missing?
said is everything that I loved, right? On the turn based combat thing, I think it gets more interesting the more you play because you unlock more skills, and more importantly, you start to chain characters together.
Right.
And that's where it's honestly the first few hours where you're Gustav and Lune. Act one is probably depends how much you explore, but it's probably 6 to 8 hours. It's not that exciting because you've only got a few skills, you've only got maybe 3 or 4 different attacks. So yeah, it's definitely into Act two where you can start to say, right, this character buffs this one, which buffs this one, and then you do like a knockout punch, and that's where I think it gets more interesting. So I don't that wouldn't tell you to waste your time doing something you don't enjoy. Obviously not. That's not right. But if you could maybe push through, I think you would find it more
Uh,
interesting, especially as the enemies get more elaborate attacks, because then you get into the dodging and the parrying, which you might enjoy, because that is quite
I
satisfying when you come up
definitely
against some
do
of the
want
bosses.
to continue.
Yeah.
Definitely. It's just one, the time, and two, it's just trying to push through those battles because I do find them incredibly boring, even
Fair enough.
with the parrying and stuff. Because and that's what I was saying to my mate, like, can't believe how shit I am at the fucking the parrying and even the dodging as well and stuff. I just like couldn't. At first, I was like, you were it's good because it tells you when to parry things like that or when to hit. But
Yeah.
these big X's were coming up on my screen, and I was confused as to, am I supposed to hit it straight away, or am I supposed to wait for something to happen? Or and it took me a minute to just figure that simple fact out. And then from there, I don't know, the battles were just, I just didn't find them engaging at all. And the exploration and the open world as well, I found really annoying. And this to someone was the fact that there's no like mini map or big map or compass or anything to give you
Yeah.
any type of help of where you're going. And I've been told that that's actually quite normal for turn-based games, and that there's usually only a compass or whatever on like the overworld map.
Mm.
And right enough, in this game there is on the bigger map that you're on, there is a compass.
Yeah.
But when you're actually out exploring the wee bits, there's nothing there. And the problem I have with that is that it's probably just because I'm not used to turn-based games, to be honest with you, right? But I'd be like exploring, doing my thing, see the bad guy. I'm like, okay, I know that if I hit him first, then I'm attacking first, so let's run up, hit him, get into the battle, do the battle, and then because it's like this whole separated thing, this turn-based thing, see by the time I come out the battle, 9 times out of 10, I forgot which way I came from.
I had exactly that problem for a long way through the game. I was disoriented. And I feel stupid for saying this now because of how long it took me to realize this. But in each area, there's a battle space, and that's where the turn based battles take place. And I feel so dumb saying this, but when the battle ends, you are returned to where you were and where you were facing. So just keep running forward.
Oh, really?
But yeah, yeah. And
Was not
like I
aware
say,
of that.
no, and the game doesn't. Hey, look, this is a Sekiro bit. The game doesn't tell you that.
Yeah.
And like I say, like you, mate, I would finish a turn-based battle, and then it would take me 5 minutes of running around until I felt like I knew where I was. Oh, all right, I'm taking the left-hand path here. I'm going to go right up that hill or whatever. And it probably took me a long way into Act 2 before it clicked that each zone has a fixed battle space, and then when it ends, you're back where you were. So just keep going forward. So yeah, that is. There you go. You've
That's good to
exchanged some
know.
pro Sekiro tips. I've exchanged a pro Clair Obscur tip. I will say on the mini map thing. So early on, I mean, look, let's be honest, guys. We're an Assassin's Creed podcast. We like a compass. We like our glowing dots and our question marks. And obviously, this game is like an anti Ubisoft game. There's no question marks. There are no check marks. I have seen quite a lot of feedback on the subreddit, and a lot of people saying kind of what you're talking about, Chris, which is we kind of respect the game requiring us to think. But you know what would be really nice is once you've completed a chapter on the overworld map, okay, don't give us a checklist, but maybe just give us like a check mark when we're done in the area so we don't keep searching round and round and round. So maybe striking a balance between the Ubisoft approach of a checklist and having nothing, because there is a finite amount to do in each area. There's only so many enemies, chromatic bosses, lumina points to pick up and pictos to pick up. So it would be nice if maybe when you'd like say completed that chapter, you did get a green check mark to say you're done or something, so you would know not to keep revisiting. That would be probably quite a good compromise. And who knows if they'll do any more. They did put out a post maybe last month saying they are looking at what other things they might either add or improve to the game, but they also have said that they're pretty happy with how it is. So who knows? I would also say, if we're being critical, that the menus for like managing your characters are quite hard to navigate and understand. It feels like it could do with a bit of a UI. I don't know, a bit more time on making it easy to use and just clearer what's active, what luminas you've got assigned, and sort of sorting them into different categories. So who knows? Maybe they will add a few helper tools in the future.
Could I just make a point about that? I think the problem, and I'm trying to see how I can word it without sounding disrespectful to a lot of gamers and stuff. So it's very hard, but Expedition 33 is a game out of time. So since the 360 era, PS3, we've had like a very certain amount of games. But when you look at what Expedition 33 is, this game reminds me of term JRPGs from PS1 era. So Final Fantasy VII, where whenever you get into an enemy encounter, you've got to open the menu system, look for a spell to use, or look for certain item to use. And there was a long time during the PS1 and PS2 era, especially the Game Boys and Nintendo, these types of games were the height, whereas now the height is open world RPGs. And I think a lot of younger gamers are expecting that sort of handheld open world checklist sort of thing because this is no disrespect, but it's just the common industry norm now. Whereas me, who's played a lot of OG PS1 JRPGs, when I booted up Expedition 33 and I got into the main bulk of it, I felt at home. So after every battle, I knew that this was the battle area. I knew that I just continued going forward because it's how the cameras always operate. I knew that when you've completed an area, you have to go back at a higher level because there'll be a hidden boss that needs to be explored when you get higher. So all these things for me was already ingrained into my head. I knew what I was going in for. So when it came to like menus and pictos and all the stats, I instantly knew what I was looking out for, how to operate the menus, because it feels like a PS1, PS2 JRPG that I am used to. I played a crap ton as a kid. I would literally, I know I'm only 30 and I'm talking like I was like ancient, but I would sit at 10 years old playing Final Fantasy VII with a little A4 book with notes of different abilities, different stuff to go together. So I'm already intuitive about these games. So when there's no mini map, I'm not bothered because I already know my way around the map. I know how it's going to work. I know it's fairly linear, so every path is going to connect. You're not going to get lost. So I think there's a lot of things they could do to help a newer generation that is used to those type of icons. But I kind of think this shouldn't because it's a preservation that this is how games used to be. You had to learn these things, you had to explore and enjoy how it progresses without someone saying, okay, you've done this area, don't go back. Because if you keep going back, you like I did when I beat the game, I went back to an area by accident because I wasn't supposed to go in there. And I found a boss hidden away in this little area. And it blew my mind because there was no checklist saying, oh, you've missed this or you've missed that. It was just, I stumbled upon it. I was already overpowered. So it made me laugh that I wiped him in one hit. But it was a nice thing to find all of a sudden. So maybe I'm just a gamer that's older than I look.
Yeah, I think, you're not wrong. It's what you're used to. And for me, who, let's be honest, I've mostly only been playing games with compasses and mini maps, it was a bit of a different learning experience. Chris, do you think you'll go back to it or do you think you're done?
I definitely want to go back to it, and it's because of the story that
Yeah.
I want to push through that to just to see it. Like I've seen people talk about like saying it's like a game of the year contender and that. So I definitely need to see where it goes with the story because I'm ready to have my mind. So I will push
Yeah.
through it when I've got some time. But
Nice.
there's so much to play, and I
Mm.
just bought Cyberpunk, so
Oh, yes. It's happening, guys. It's happening. Declan, did you ever finish Cyberpunk?
No.
Oh, bro, come on.
Um, I don't want to say why because you're here and Rue listens, so I'm just going to pretend that it's a great game and everything's hunky dory.
Rue and I are going to hunt you down.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's a perfect game. I just ran out of time, is the excuse I'm going with.
Boo. Terrible excuse. Nah, it's fair enough, mate. I mean,
I have a
there you
real excuse, but it's the real excuse is more of I got bored of it.
go.
And
Okay.
I think it's because I'm a gamer. I love trying new games. I'm always up for new games, but every game since Cyberpunk has been the same open world formula. Even though Cyberpunk has a great story, great world, phenomenal combat and movement, there's tons of pros. I'm just fed up of playing open world games.
Fair enough.
That's the only reason why I can't complete. And that's no disrespect to CD Projekt Red or the game. I'm not knocking the game. I'm just fed up of an industry where everything's open world and everything has to be this big map with checklists and quests after quest. I just want simple games again, like Expedition 33 or
Fair enough.
Devil May Cry that I've just finished now for the first time. That took me 2 days. Very linear, no open world. And it was phenomenal. I was hooked. And you have to play it, all of yours.
Which
Okay.
which one did you play? Because there's quite a few in that series.
I
So
played the fifth one because I've played them all since the PlayStation 2 era. I've
Yeah,
they go back that far, do
I
they?
played the first. Yeah, I played the first one when I was a kid,
so
and
did
that's
I.
it. That's the only one I've ever played.
I've
Mm.
played one when it originally came out, two when it came out, three when it came out. Then on the 360, I bought the HD collection to replay one, two, and three. Then I played four. Then on the PS4, I bought the HD collection again to replay one, two, and three. And then I've just bought five now. And I'm re-looking at buying the edition on Xbox, which has one, two, three, and four, so I can replay one, two, three, and four and then replay 5 because I got the deluxe edition for 5, which comes with a new playable character. So I want to play 1, 2, 3, 4 again, and then 5 on a new run.
Okay.
What's the one that was made by Ninja Theory?
Don't please,
Is
please.
that like the bad one that we don't talk about?
That is the one
Didn't
that
Ninja Theory make Hellblade, Senua's
Yeah,
Saga? They made a Devil May Cry game, did they?
yeah.
never play it, please, trust me.
Why?
Says
You
all.
can't leave it
So,
there, mate.
okay, honestly, as a game, I'm going to be brutally honest. As a game, it's great. It's got fluid combat, it has a good story, great movement, great setting. There is nothing wrong with the game at its core. The issue is, it's like the developers looked at every inch of the Devil May Cry lore, which is vast, phenomenal, and confusing, put it in the bin, and said, screw it, we're going to do our own thing. And they remade the titular character Dante into this younger, cheesier person, and they gave him a completely different backstory to what we've already known. They even take the piss out of his white hair by putting a mop on his head and saying, "Oh no, I wouldn't look good in this." And it just felt. I enjoyed the game for what it is. I've played it. I enjoyed it for what it is, but as a Devil May Cry game, it was not. It ruined everything that came before it, in my opinion. It just shouldn't exist as a Devil May Cry. Or it could exist as Devil May Cry if it just wasn't Dante as the main lead.
That's about as damning as you can get, really, I would say, in terms of commentary.
I apologize. It's just it's a franchise that's close to my heart because I've loved
Yeah, yeah.
the fast pace. I love the lore. And when you bring out a reboot that just disrespects everything that came before it, you're like,
Mm.
you had so much potential. You could have made a new character and made it as part of the Devil May Cry universe, and it would work perfect. But when you say this is Dante, this is his new backstory, this is his new parent lineage, it's like, no, that is not what we've been doing for the past 3 games. Can you stop disrespecting it? So yeah, if you want to play them, touch the HD remaster, which is the 1, 2, and 3. The third one's the best. Second one's okay. First one's great, but a bit hard to understand. The fourth one is the best one, and I can't recommend it enough. And you can technically play 1, 2, 3, and 4 in any order because they're not in a chronological time frame. You just can't play 5. You have to play 5 after 4, but you can play 1, 2, 3, and 4 in any order. So if you just want to pick up 4, you will understand the basics of the world anyways.
Whilst you've been talking, I've been reading the Wikipedia article, and now I know why you love them so much. Let me read this sentence. Cameo rewrote the story and changed its premise, drawing from Italian poet Dante Alighieri's Divine Comedy. And I know you've spoken about that before, Declan. So this is why you love the game so much, I'm guessing.
Yes, plus it's a game that has a serious tone at heart, but it plays fast and loose with humor and it's over the top action. It's just you want to smile while enjoying the story. That's just it. It's just real good, turn your brain off fun with a really good story. And that's what you need from a game sometimes, something that's
Okay.
going to make you smile.
So is it what some people call a spectacle fighter, where it's about looking good, lots of cool effects on the screen, and like you say, it's pretty light-hearted then?
Pretty much.
Okay.
Just summing up, in Devil May Cry 5, Dante gets a weapon, and for no reason, he could have just got the weapon and walked on. No, they did a reminiscence of Michael Jackson's moonwalk dance as a 2 minute cutscene as him trying out this new weapon. That is the level of humor from Devil May Cry. There's no
Okay.
reason for it,
Okay.
but it's funny as hell.
Okay. So Ninja Theory did DMC Devil May Cry in 2013. Then they did DMC Devil May Cry Definitive Edition. Then they've done some Disney games. Oh yeah, and then straight to Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice. But you're saying avoid that one.
Yeah, it's a good
Okay.
game, just not a good
Okay.
Devil May Cry game.
Oof. It's a good Assassin's Creed game. No, it's a good game, but it's not a good Assassin's Creed game. Yes. You've just done the Odyssey summary there, haven't you?
Yeah, but I have a valid point this time.
No, it's
I
fine.
mean, you
It's
could
fine.
put that on most AC games.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, so we've played each other's games. Declan, you've made the most progress. Chris is in the middle, and I've made the least progress, but I'm not giving up. I will go back to it. Just when I'm feeling like more. It's just like I'd say, do you know what? This sounds I'm going to really show my age here. Just because of stuff that's been happening with the family and work, I've been playing quite late in the evening, and I think tiredness is part of it because you've really got to pay attention,
Yeah.
and I've just not been in the right frame of mind. So I need to do it on a weekend, get all my jobs done, like the cars, the garden, the shopping, whatever else needs doing, and then say, right, leave me alone for 4 hours. I am focusing on this game. That's what I need to do. So
Before we break up the show, can I give you a funny little story about tiredness and Dark Souls that might make you laugh?
Go for it.
So my friend begged me to play Bloodborne on PS4. So I bought it. I bought the Game of the Year edition, bought the DLCs. And he was like, when you get to this boss, you're meant to die because it teaches you about how the bonfire system works, how the resurrection works. So it was about 2 in the morning. I was having so many moments. I was half asleep. Walked up to this first boss, eyes drooping shut, opened my eyes after 2 seconds, and realized I'd somehow killed it when I was supposed to be defeated. And then I told him, and he was like, no, you couldn't have done. So I showed him the screen. He was like, that's impossible. Right, go to this area. This is the first boss. It's easy. While I was wide awake the next day on 4 cans of Red Bull, I couldn't even get past the boss in 10 seconds. I was like struggling. I was like, how can being half asleep beat a boss that's meant to be impossible to beat first try, but being wide awake, I can't figure out what the hell I'm doing. So I think I need to be half asleep.
I think there's an element of overthinking things when you're really, and sometimes, like you tense,
Yeah.
and you actually do need to kind of relax or be half tired, I guess. Yeah, I can see that. I can see why you found it because, like, back to Clair Obscur, early on with some of the timing, and I knew I had to watch the characters and watch like the movement of the sword or the spear, and I knew I had to watch it, and I was focused so much on it that I was tunnel visioning on the tiny part of the screen, and actually what I realized was if I just sat back a bit and sort of took in the whole movement of the camera, that was a much better clue for the timing than the specific movement of their arm or their leg or whatever the attack was. So it could just be a bit of just taking in the whole scene, mate, rather than sort of being all tensed up with your fingers like twitching on the controller.
You don't want to see me play Sekiro. I'm like hunched over like a gremlin with my claws out, like, I gotta do this.
You've played some on stream, haven't you, Chris, in the past, Sekiro?
Yeah, I have.
Is it still up, or has it been purged
I
by
think
Twitch?
it's been purged now, but I wanted to stream some of it for you just to kind of show you and like talk you through a few things.
Why don't we do that next instead of an episode? In a week or two's time, why don't we do a group live stream on? We do have a Twitch channel, but I know there's nothing up there. Probably YouTube would be better. But yeah, we could do that. You could play and commentate, and we could make the appropriate ooh and ah noises.
You can ask questions or whatever.
Yeah, that would be awesome, actually.
Yeah, I'd enjoy that.
And we can also pretend to critique his movement just so we feel like we're contributing to the conversation.
Well, I'll play it from the very start and you'll see me cheese the ogre because I cheese it every time, but I don't care.
Fucking ogre, man.
Because it's wild and no one should have to fight that stupid thing.
Do you know what, though? The ogre, actually, we didn't talk about this now, but that probably took me 30 attempts. I don't know whether that's good or bad. I don't really care.
I mean, that makes sense.
What I realised was, and again, this is just about that mastery point, you end up... How can I say it? You end up being able to read his mind. I know what you're going to do now, you fucker. Sidestep. I know what you're going to do now. Backstep. Now I can dodge. And you end up... It almost becomes like a flow state. Do you know what I mean? Where you're not even thinking. So again, that's part of the game that I really respected. Once I'd beaten the fucker, the first
That is
29 times I was
that
cross, but
is like 90% of the game is recognizing their attack patterns
yeah,
and
because
then using
the
it
bit
against
that
them.
he always got me on was he would charge at me or do like a unblockable attack, and I would sidestep, and then he would charge, and the little fucker would change his direction at the last minute and still get me. And then I realized I'll just do a double dodge, and then it's fine. That's what you do. You dodge behind him. Once I'd got that down, this is easy. Stab, stab, dodge, dodge, stab, dodge, dodge, stab, and the rest is history. So it is. I can respect the game. I can understand why people love it. Let's do a live stream. That would be fun.
Yeah, we good.
All right. What else you guys playing? What you got? Anything being played this week?
Well, me, I've just, like I said, just got Cyberpunk and its DLC on PS5, so I'm going
Nice.
to play some of that.
Enjoy it. New patch just went out with some new, few new features and so on. So make sure you download the patch.
Yeah, I think it already has, yeah. I was playing it for like 10, 20 minutes before. But yeah, I've played a little bit of it before. I've played a few hours of it
Oh yeah. Okay.
in the past. I just never played more of it, but now I'm like, I want to complete it now, so it's time.
Okay. That'd be fun to
So
check in when you're done.
yeah, just that and just playing the usual AC games, the usual rotation. So yeah, that's
Very
it for
good.
me.
Very good. What about you, Declan? What are you playing this week?
I'm waiting for Atomfall to download,
Oh yeah.
which looks cool because it's set in Cumbria, well, Yorkshire Dale type area, and it's like a post-apocalyptic survival-ish game, so it looks fun. But I'm also reliving my
Thing is, mate,
child.
how can you tell the difference between Yorkshire and post-apocalyptic Yorkshire? Don't they look the same?
That is a good point. I've been to Yorkshire, but also reliving my childhood by playing the remastered Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 3 and 4
Nice.
because I love my Tony Hawk's games. I'm
Here we are.
crap at it, really crap, but good.
Good soundtracks.
Oh yeah.
If you want a game with tricks, it was on the PlayStation subscription last month. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, which is a strange name for a game. Very simple visuals, but you sort of chain together. I played a few hours of it last month just because I didn't know what to play. And it didn't kind of grab me, but if you like that sort of chaining together tricks and doing different stunts on your skateboard, check it out.
Ooh,
Yeah.
this is going to be a bit of an indie plug, but it is something for all AC fans to check out. It's very cheap.
Yeah.
Check out Rooftops and Alleys.
Got that on my list. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a parkour inspired game. So I think Tony Hawk's, but parkour, really great. I've been playing it for ages, and it has one of the best photo modes in the entire industry because you can ragdoll certain body parts for the camera. So if you're in the middle of like a backflip, you can straighten the legs out, look like a T-posing upside down. But it has a high skill ceiling for learning the controls. But once you get it down, it is phenomenal. And this is somebody who doesn't like parkour that much in Assassin's Creed. I'm obsessed with it.
I mean,
I
overwhelmingly positive on Steam right now, and it was
oh,
released just a month ago. So, all right, Rooftop Snallies. I'll put a link. I'll maybe put a video up on the B-roll as well for
it's
YouTube. Yeah, cool.
blooming great.
All right, very good. Well, gentlemen, thank you for joining me, and it's been good actually to swap games and try each other's recommendations, and more Sekiro chat coming, I guess, in a few weeks.
If we can stomach it.
I think we can. We can. I might have completed one more chapter by then. We'll see. We'll see. So, on that bombshell, it's time to end.
Thank you all.
See ya.